Hello, we're team number one, and this is our STEM project.
Now, before we start, the name of the prototype is Clouds versus Trash.
Our objective with this prototype is to reduce water contamination by pushing the waste of trash found in them into a trash container, which leads everything to a garbage center, where it can be processed or used for organic energy later on.
The parts of our prototype will be the robotic arm and the program in which its actions are performed, the concrete barrier, and the mesh. And the hypothesis consists of if we clean bodies of water by removing the trash from the La Boca Dam, then contamination will decrease and people from that area will have a better quality of life because if we help nature and environment, then we will help people around it too.
So now the variables. Independent variable, amount of weight the mesh can hold before the trash gets removed. Dependent variable, how clean the water passes through. How efficient and resistant is the mesh. And it's also the amount of trash collected. And the control variable is the amount of water we will remove from the bodies of water.
Now, for the functioning of our prototype, we have that it basically our model consists of a concrete barrier with a mesh, and it has a sensor, a pressure sensor in the back that um, as the mesh expands, it will reach the sensor and activate the robot arm. This way, it will clean all the garbage in the river and or dam, and it can be later used or processed to create organic energy. Now, the most important part of our prototype is the arm, that it basically consists of a claw that lifts up the garbage and leaves it in a container. And thanks to the code already programmed, it will perform such actions. And this will have its main purpose to clean the rivers and dams of our country, leaving them free and clean for the use of the water for the environment. Next, we have our video. In this video, we can see that our robotic arm, basically the representation of the garbage is that little tire, and the robotic arm basically performs these motions that detects when the motion sensor is activated and it starts its programming. This way it lifts the garbage or the tire in this case and brings it all the way to the back where the container is located. This way, when the sensor is pressed, it will always reach for the garbage and clean it immediately.
Collected data. The data we recollect is the following. We have the approximate kilograms of trash our project is going to catch in certain time. Approximate time, talking about months, to measure the dependent variable. And we know the equations we will use for our project and our, to collect our results.
Okay, so now I'm going to explain our mathematical model and equations we used. In this case, we used the dependent variable, which is y, as the kilograms of trash we're going to use because the months of use or the time is going to depend of the quantity of trash collected with our project. So we put as x, the independent variable, the months or the time in this case. And the y, it will be kilograms of trash collected. So first we take 2 points to coordinate the pair of coordinate. And we used, like we measured in months, we used 1 month and 3 months, and an approximate of the kilograms of trash we think it's gonna happen in a dam of water, body of water, a large one. So we find the slope. In this case, our slope is 70/1, which is gonna be 70, the slope. Then we substitute the point slope formula. We convert to the point slope formula, which is y minus y1 equals slope times x minus x1. And we substitute the values we have, mathematical values. And then after we take the values of it, we find the y-intercept formula. In this case is y equals 70x plus 0 because it's not any result from the before step. And after we find our y-intercept formula, we use 3 values to represent the time. In this case, we use the points to represent an approximation in kilograms of how much trash will be obtained in a project because it's the dependent variable depending on the time. So we use the values of 12 months in the first one. In the second one, we used 6 months, like half a year. And in the third one, we went back and did 3 years for we to know in a near future, but like an increasing slope to find we have an increasing slope, and it gave us the results of 840, 420 kilograms, and 2,520. Repeating, this is an approximation based on some research we had and calculations we made to find the equation we did. And this is everything. I hope you learned a little bit of our project, and we'll see you next time.